Hello there, my name's Scott and today I'm going to be doing a review on the Ithaka update kit which I received from www.e-smokeguru.gr. Before I start though, I must point out I did receive it free of charge for the purpose of conducting a review, but my opinion of the product remains true, honest and accurate as always. Okay, so just bear in mind that this isn't a review on the Ithaka repairable atomizer. This is just going to be a video showing you the updated part for it. If you want to see my Ithaka review, you can go along to my website at www.e-cig-reviews.com. Look in the silica atomizers section and you'll find the review there. Okay, so let's crack on then and show you what the update part's all about. Okay, so here I have the Ithaka, which is a silica-based repairable atomizer, and it's a great atomizer as well, performs really well, built to last, very nicely machined. On the bottom you've got a adjustable 510 connection, you've got an airflow control ring, so if you want to adjust the draw, have a tight or loose draw, you can do. You've got a tank that holds loads of e-liquid, and the mouthpiece also acts as a juice control, so you can actually determine how much e-liquid you want to go up the wicks and reach your coils. Now the only slight negative is that when it comes to setting up your coils and your wick, it does require the combination of no resistance and resistance wire, which if you haven't got any of the ready-made wires can be a little bit of a pain. However, IMEO has now brought out this little update part which eradicates the need for no resistance wire. So let's quickly show this in a bit more detail, then I'll show you how to get it all installed and with a nice new coil all set up. Okay, so here I have the update part for the Ithaka, which basically consists of a slightly different mouthpiece compared to the original, and a new section which is where you're going to be installing your wick and coils. You still have the adjustable brass center pin here, so you're always going to get that really good solid connection. But if you're going to use it with something like the GGTS or the Just GG in the sort of hybrid mode, then you can actually remove that little screw there. It's not really needed. Well, at least I have, and it's been working perfectly fine. The mouthpiece is still going to act as your juice control, so as you can hopefully see on either side here you have a channel, and that is where your wick will be sitting, and as you unscrew the mouthpiece you'll expose more of the wick, which will in turn allow more e-liquid to travel up onto your coils. Now if I completely remove this bit, you can see there's quite a big change here. You no longer have the ceramic in there, you no longer need to install no resistance wire down the sides and wrap it around the shaft. Instead you've just got two very simple terminals, your positive and your negative. And to install a new wick and wire, all you've got to do is get a bit of silica, wrap your coils around it, attach the ends of the wire to the terminals, and that's it, you're vaping, jobs are good. And so for me this makes it so much simpler to set up, so much quicker, and in terms of performance it's not affected it either in a positive way or a negative way, it still performs great. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just very quickly show you how to swap over the update parts. Okay, so swapping over the parts is very simple and straightforward, and as I haven't got any e-liquid in the tank, I've not got any sort of coil set up, all I need to do is just unscrew this part and I should be able to remove the whole section in one foul swoop hopefully. So I'm just going to unscrew that and slide it off, and then it's the mouthpiece and this section here which you need to remove, so you just got to unscrew that. And what you'll be left with is this part here. Okay, so once they're removed, you can then take the updated parts and simply screw that into the base. So screw it all the way down, really nice and tight. And then you can take the mouthpiece, place it over the top and screw that all the way down. And that is it, that is the new update parts installed. And what I'm going to do now is just show you how nice and quick and easy it is to get a new coil set up. Okay, so with the new update part, you can obviously still set it up in a regular way with a bit of silica wick. But I like to use a sort of micro coil along with some cotton wool, and it works really well. So as you can see, all I've done is I've wrapped around 10 coils around a sort of piece of metal bar, it's probably around sort of 2.5mm in diameter. And then all I've done is just drop that metal bar in between the two slots on the side. And now all I need to do is simply attach either end of the wire to the two terminals. And then for the next step, you can just grab hold of that little metal bar, give it a bit of a pull and a twist, and it should eventually come out. And then once that's come out, you can just remove the excess pieces of wire by grabbing hold of them, apply a little bit of tension, give it a wiggle, and they should snap off nice and clean. Now before I install the cotton wool, I'm just going to give the old coils a bit of a test fire, because I like to try and get them so they're all sort of firing up evenly. It's almost like they're firing up as a sort of bar, if you see what I mean. And if they don't all fire up together at the same time, what you need to do is just get them nice and hot and get a pair of tweezers, give them a bit of a squeeze. Just do that a few times and eventually it'll work nicely. And as far as I can tell in this light, that seems to be okay. Okay, so if you are going to use cotton wool as a wick, make sure you never do any dry burns. Always make sure your cotton wool is nice and wet. And also make sure that that coil is completely cooled down before you install a new piece of cotton wool. Otherwise it's just going to sort of burn straight away. Okay, so I've just cut off a length of it, and I've left it sort of fairly fluffy. I'm just going to feed it through the hole, or right through the coil should I say, and pull it out from the other side. And just put it through until I can feel it's about right, which it should be about there. You can then take a pair of cutters and just trim off the excess pieces. I tend to just hold the cutters flat against it, and that seems to be about the right lot. Apart from these aren't cutting at all now. Useless things. Let's try again. That should be fine now. And then on the other side as well. Hold that there and pull that off, that'll do. And then you can just take a screwdriver and just pack the sort of cotton wool into the two channels. Okay, so once the coil and the cotton wool has been installed, just get your bottle of e-liquid and make sure you prime it. And then once that's done, you can take the mouthpiece, put it over the top and screw it all the way down. Then you can take the tank, again over the top, screw it all the way down. And then grab hold of your bottle of e-liquid and fill it up. And then you can finish off by taking the top cap, screwing that all the way down. And then the second part of the top cap, and again all the way down. And that's it, you're good to go. Okay, so that is the Ithaka with its new update part. Let's go ahead and show you in action. Okay, so that was the update part for the Ithaka, and hopefully you can tell from the close-up shots that, well, at least in my opinion anyway, the update part definitely makes things a lot quicker and a lot simpler when it comes to setting up a new wick and coil. Now, if you've got the ready-made wires, and it's not too much of a hassle because obviously they're already joined for you. If you haven't got the ready-made wires, then having to join the no resistance wire to the resistance wire, then plus the sort of extra additional steps you have to take when it comes to sort of setting up the original version of the Ithaka, it's definitely far more time consuming compared to just having to wrap one piece of wire around a bit of wick and then attach it to two terminals. You know, it's infinitely far superior in my opinion anyway, and I think that the update part has turned the Ithaka from a great atomizer into a really great atomizer. You know, you've got everything you want on there. You've got the juice control, you've got the adjustable 510, you've got the airflow control, you've got a tank that holds loads of e-liquid. It looks good as well, it's built to last. And now for the fact that you can just sort of set it up so much more quicker and simpler, for me it's definitely improved it, you know, tenfold. In terms of actual performance, no difference whatsoever. I know on the original part you've obviously got the double channels in the ceramic and the housing, so you can sort of set it up a lot more easier for the sort of dual coil setup. But I find that a single coil setup like this with a micro coil performs just as well as the dual coil setup in the original sort of using the original parts of the Ithaka. I'm not going to talk too much about the actual sort of performance because, you know, at the end of the day, this is a review on the update part rather than the actual atomizer, but I will give it a quick blast. So as you can see, like, still getting tons of vapour out of it, still getting tons of flavour, still getting tons of throat hit, etc, etc. The only difference really is that it's a lot more simpler and quicker to set up now. I know a lot of people do like doing the older dual coils and that, so they may actually be put off a little bit by the update part. You probably could still do a dual coil in there, but like I said, I've not felt any need to do that. It's been working perfectly fine with a nice micro coil, and as you can see, you know, it's producing plenty of vapour, no problems at all. The only sort of slight negative really is the price. It's around 67 euros, and I think it's only available separately. So let's say, for example, you haven't got an Ithaka, but you really like one, but you also want to have the sort of a simpler option for, you know, installing a wick and coil. That means you've got to pay out for the Ithaka and then pay out an extra 67 euros for that little update part. So I'm hoping that there's going to be probably a newer version of the Ithaka. It's very likely there's going to be a newer version around the corner which will have that update part already installed inside it, so you haven't got to sort of pay out almost the cost of another atomizer on top of it. If you've already got an Ithaka and you've had one for quite a long time, you use it every day, you're very happy with it, you love the performance, etc, etc, but you would like would ideally like it to be a little bit quicker to set up, then it's probably worth investing in that update part. But if you haven't got the Ithaka already and you're thinking about getting one, I'd probably wait around and wait to see if there's going to be a version. I think this is version 1, so there's probably going to be a version 2 or 3 or something like that, and then that should hopefully have the updated part already installed. Because I think if you're going to buy both separately on the same day, it's just going to make it too much money for it, just regardless of how good a quality the atomizer is, regardless of how well it vapes or anything like that. I think the two prices combined together is just going to be too much, I think. Now, I did speak to Imio yesterday or the day before, not spoke to him, but via email, because I'd done a review on the Penelope V2, and in that review I was talking about the sort of no resistance wire and the resistance wire, and how I'm sort of quite, not against it, but I just think it's a pain in the arse. And I sent Imio the review and said, you know, I've just uploaded a review on your Penelope V2, and again that rhymes. And he wrote back to say that the Penelope V3 is out in about 2 days' time, and with that you won't have to use no resistance wires. So if you did watch that Penelope V2 review and you was interested in it, again, it's probably worth hanging around, just wait for the V3, which is going to be out any day now. Not too sure what else I can really tell you about it. If you already own an Ithaka and you like the idea of the update part, then go along to www.e-smokeguru.gr. Thank you very much for watching. Also come along and visit my website at www.e-cig-reviews.com. That's e-cig-reviews.com. Cheers guys, happy vaping. See you later.